Hello, welcome to Cult.Exe, a channel here on Plus One EXP. I'm Sarah, the high-level monk and cult leader here at Plus One EXP.
And I'm Keegan.Exe, the content necromancer and our other cult leader.
We're not reading from a script. Ignore what we're doing. Plus One is a weird little brand, the multi-classes in tabletop game design, beard and skincare alchemy, and the Bardic College of Content Creation. The dream and hope here at Plus One is to help amazing designers find great players who love their games, and amazing players find great designers whose games they can love. And we're at PAX.
Woo!
We're live recording a game. We've got some incredible, wonderful guests here. They're going to play a game with us. We're going to start with Spencer. Spencer, can you tell the people who you are?
Hi everybody, I'm Spencer Campbell. I publish under the name Gila RPGs. I published a bunch of games, Slayers, Light, Nova, which we're playing today,
Woo!
and Room, which just released this weekend at PAX.
Nice. And then the incredible, wonderful, incomparable AJ, who I did ambush approximately 45 seconds ago. AJ, can you tell the people who you are and where they can find you?
Hi, I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me on the 3 T's of social media. It's Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok as Husha_Kid. I am a video editor, TTRPG performer, voice actor, a lot of other things that I'm drawing a blank because I did get kidnapped here, and I am not against my will. I am not blinking multiple times to help me.
AJ's a good sport. I appreciate that about that.
For the life of me, I couldn't have guessed the third T.
I was like
Twitch and Twitter. Oh, TikTok. I'm old, right? Got it.
Oh,
Don't know what that is.
Do I post on TikTok? Yes. Do I also feel like I'm too old for it? Yes.
Also, yes. I'll never feel too old.
Look, I try to stay off TikTok for so long, and then I was just like, fuck it. And then
that's what happens. That's how it gets you, legitimately. And then you're like, shit. Because like if something happened to TikTok, we're already scared for Twitter. If TikTok, if anything happens, I'm not gonna be okay. Like, it's not gonna be alright.
I'm already not okay. So
yeah, I know it's rough out there, buddy. On that note, let's talk about Nova. That's what we're gonna hear play. Tell us a little bit about it, Spencer.
Sure. So Nova is a game in which the sun exploded, hence the cover in which the sun is exploding.
Very cool.
And we are going to, you all are going to pilot mechs in our sunless world, going out on missions, trying to somewhat save humanity. It is a power fantasy game. You all are going to be incredibly powerful badasses. You're going to just be mowing down fools and just having a good time doing it. It uses the Lumen system, which is a system I designed that is inspired by my love of looter shooters and action RPGs. So It's truly all about just pushing that do cool. What's the profanity policy here?
Go for it. Do cool shit.
Do cool shit button over and over and over again. And so that's what we're gonna be playing today.
Awesome.
we're gonna pierce the heavens.
Heck yeah, we are, buddy. Let's go. Okay, but first we gotta make characters.
Yes.
How do we do that?
So to make characters, you all are going to pick which of the sparks, which are the name of the mechs, that you want to be. Keegan has that extra book right there. And you can find the first spark here. It's Pyre, and there's a whole bunch of sparks. Sarah, I'll let you take this so you can flip through them. There are 9 of them in there. They all have a brief rundown of what they're all about on the left side, but I can also give you the quick elevator pitch. You can also just see which one calls to you from the amazing art that Eddie York did.
This art is very, what's that game? Bo plays it all the time. I can't think of it. It's that roguelike that you are like in space, and oh man, why can I think Bright plays it too.
Destiny?
No, not Destiny. It's like you're like shooting around aliens. You're like, you choose a character. I think he was playing a mod that he was playing as Vegeta in it.
I can't remember, but I think I vaguely know what you're talking about.
We're all gonna feel so stupid when, as soon as this ends, we're all like,
right,
here was the name of it.
It's that game.
I do need to release the Vegeta expansion for Nova now.
Yeah,
Now that we've said it.
Yeah, but no, truly the art in here is insane.
No.
This is so beautiful.
Eddie York did that. He's an artist out of the UK. Did truly a spectacular job with all of them.
Tell me about the Infernal.
The Infernal was an extra spark that we added at the end where we wanted you to literally be able to play as the devil. So your character is incredibly powerful. You're burning people, and all the sparks have an ability that when they die, they don't actually die. You actually supernova and you annihilate everybody around you. And Infernal's supernova drags everybody around them down to hell. So
We're gonna pierce hell.
yeah, right? So we just gotta flip it.
Are you playing a Grim? I feel like you're playing a Grim.
I'm waiting for you all to choose.
I'm choosing Infernal.
Yeah, I'm choosing a Grim before Keegan can.
That's fine. I'll play War Dog. It's my go-to. War Dog.
Amazing.
Love it. Excellent. So you all have chosen your Spark, which is the very first thing that you need to do. Quick rundown of what your Spark has. That top half of the sheet's going to be really helpful to you. It's got a passive ability, which is just sort of that's always a benefit you've got going on. You've got your 4 active powers. In combat, we're really not going to be rolling any dice. You're going to just be choosing which of these powers you want to be using on a given moment. And you spend a resource called fuel in order to do that. And then the supernova, like I said, that's when you die. You really don't actually die. You annihilate everybody around you,
Very cool.
and then you respawn using some of the fuel that you have in your reserves. The whole bottom half of that sheet is mods. Those are things that we use for like character advancement and things like that. So how I like to pitch Nova is you are already level 20 characters, and the mods are about putting together the build that is most exciting to you, rather than like advancing your character to better and higher stats. Because you're already like freakishly powerful in this game. So we want you out the gate to be really, really powerful. I don't remember the exact page number, but it's a couple pages right before Pyre. It goes through the short number of steps that we do for character creation in terms of how to go through it. You've done the first step, which is choosing your Spark. The next thing you need to do is set your attributes. So like I said, there's no dice rolling in combat, but out of combat, how do we do things? We roll a d6 pool to see how you do with those things. We don't have a bunch of skills or anything like that. You have 3 attributes that describe how you do things. Sun, powerful stuff. Moon, fast stuff. And Shade, which is like the slow practice things. Right now, you're going to put some points into all of those. You have 1. They all start at 1, and you have 4 points to spend. So if you want to do a lot of powerful stuff, you put more points in Sun. If you want to do fast, quick, reactive stuff, then you want to put more points in Moon. Or if you want to be like a slow, patient hacker, then go with more points in Shade.
We have 4 points to add to.
You have 4 points to add, and each of them starts at 1. And what these values are going to be the number of d6 you roll anytime you do anything related to those attributes.
Cool.
Each have 1. I found 4. Let's do. Oh, this is hard.
I'm gonna bank it all in Sun.
Just be powerful,
Nice.
powerful and strong.
Yeah, I'm going almost entirely Moon.
Love it.
I'm just pretty balanced.
That's so boring.
I'm very boring, thank you.
I have none in Shade.
In order, a fun fact to check to see if you've done your points right is if your numbers add up to 7, you've done it correct.
That was a call out.
Not at all, Keegan.
I can math still.
So there you go. You all now have programmed your Sparks. You got a basic rundown of how you're going to work. The next step that you're going to do is equip your flares. Those are those mods that I mentioned. We can go through them if you want. Also, I know we're kind of time sensitive here, so if you don't want to like go through all of the mods, basically you're supposed to pick 2 of these mods. It could be a persistent or power to make your character a little more powerful. This is what I mean by build. So for example, you might see that you have a mod that gives you +1 range. You can plug that into any power, and now that power has additional range.
Oh, that's sick.
So now 2 people who play Grim might have a totally different way that they build their Grim, so it might be a different experience.
Oh man.
So this is where it gets into like the weird little, like you're tinkering, you're seeing how you want to like really customize your thing. The top half, all those persistent mods, those are going to be more like passive bonuses, so like just little boost to those attributes or your health and fuel. The bottom half are going to be the ones that you slot directly into your powers, where you start to customize those things.
Okay, so what are the difference between the these are just like +1 to things. Are these also mods?
These are also mods, and they typically are going to affect your passive stuff. So like, for example, this mod doesn't remove the damnation effect from characters after they deal harm. So it kind of keeps it a little more persistent.
Oh man, and you're telling me to only choose 2?
Yes, you have to choose 2, and then how the game works is every time you go out and do a mission, you do a successful thing, you get an additional mod to add to your suite. So you would just continue to become even more badass and specialized in the way that you would like to be specialized.
Alright, so I'm taking Fury and Efficient.
Love it.
I took Fury as well. And I'm taking enthralling, so I can make a thrall anytime an enemy dies, not just once per round.
Oh, so you're gonna have just tons of
There's gonna be so many.
tons of goons out there.
I love it.
And I'm taking shockwave, so my passive hits more people. And then I'm taking pull the pen, so if I pick up an enemy and throw them, they fucking explode.
Yes!
Turn people into grenades.
Gambit them.
Exactly.
The one other thing we forgot to do, or I forgot to tell you to do, is we need to set your two other stats, which are your health and your fuel. They both start at 2, if I remember how this works.
They do.
And then I think you have 8 points to spend between the two of them to increase them. So health, obviously, that's how much damage you can take before you get dropped. And fuel is the resource that you spend in order to activate a power. So anytime you want to use a power, you tick off one of your fuel, and it lets you do that particular power.
So back to the mods.
Yeah.
So I'm attaching them to only one of my active powers.
All these persistent ones, you won't even attach to anything. They just do their own thing. The power mods, you're going to attach to one of them.
Gotcha.
And you might be wondering, like, how do I get health and fuel back throughout this fight? It's literally like a video game. As you kill enemies, they're going to drop globules of health and fuel for you to vacuum back up.
Good word.
So if you're worried, like, oh no, I only have 2 fuel, will I be able to do my cool powers? Absolutely. Just kill some enemies and just suck the fuel right out of them.
And we have 8 to divvy up, so I want to do... Oh, this is hard.
Last cannon.
There you go.
That's the way to go.
It does let you supernova a lot.
That's the point of the game. You go low health.
Yeah, you go low health, you explode a lot, and it's great.
How much do we have? We have 8?
You have 8 to spend between the two things, health and
And
fuel.
each of them starts at 2.
Yes.
So you'll have 12 points by the end.
Nailed it. Good math.
I did the math this time.
Amazing.
Cool.
All right, and the last step, I believe, is to take a moment to describe our sparks. We've got our mods, we've got our base stats, we picked our sparks. It's time to describe a little bit about what you look like. Now, there's obviously the example art that Eddie has done here, but we need names for you all. You might want to stay as Grim or Infernal or Warden, or you might have a different call sign or something like that. So we're going to need to know, what are you all called when you're out in the field?
I'm going to be so boring and just say I really like the name Warden.
It's a good name.
It is a good name. AJ, you got an idea for your person?
I mean, I'm just stealing everything from Gurren Lagann right now.
Let's do it.
So, my spark is going to be, it's just going to be named Spiral.
Love it.
We
Great.
just got this, I'm going to be stealing the wings aspect of it, but on their arms are just giant drills.
Nice.
And it's gonna still be the red, gold, and black theme that we got going on. It's just basically an evil Simon.
All right.
Nice.
Very good.
I love it. So I'm playing Grim. My Sparks name is going to be Core. And I feel like I look like the art is so cool.
I know.
I'm
Eddie
vibing
did
with
such
it.
a good job.
I feel like it's very similar to that, where it's just like the metal with like the, I would say it's a little bit more chunky, like less like smooth and like sly, and a little bit more grungy.
Okay.
I guess. Like Core doesn't seem to really care how well maintained the outside is. And yeah, I think that's. And I feel like it's a lot of grays, a lot of grays and blacks.
I love it. Let me ask you all a quick little bit of world building here. So, like I said, the premise of the game, the sun exploded. What happened is these large shards of the sun came crashing down into the earth. And we sort of built like mini Dyson spheres around them. So like there are pockets of humanity built around literally shards of sunlight in the earth around us.
Okay.
Is the city that you all are based out of, is this like, are we thinking like, is it a bigger city where it's like sprawling and there's a lot of sparks that are there? Are you like the 3 sparks of a smaller settlement? What do you think is like generally the scale we're working with this team?
I want to say it's a big city, but we're the last 3 sparks.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Like, I want to say like it's like an abandoned city
Yeah.
that we have strategically moved everyone out of, and we're just like, all right, we're the mobs.
So you're like
Let's get 'em.
you're literally like a fort, like a forward fort to like
Yeah.
protect the outer.
We're doing some Osgiliath shit, is what you're telling me.
Exactly.
Yes, excellent. Cool. Then one other quick question, since you are the last three. Are you the last three, and were there other Infernals and Grims or Wardens, or are you the only version of that spark that you imagine that was in this city? Like, would people know a lot of Infernals, or would there have been just the one Infernal, the one Warden?
I feel like I want to say like it was kind of like it was a mixture of like all the different sparks and everything, but like everyone kind of had like their own signature like mod to their thing. It's like, oh yes, that's an Infernal, but that's Bob.
Love Bob.
Love Bob.
Love
R.I.P.
Bob.
Bob does
Bob.
great
R.I.P.
work.
But the thing is,
Woo! We love Bob.
woo! Yeah. But the thing is that I feel like we were the little bit of a troublemakers. And,
100%.
and they all died on the field.
Oh, okay.
And then they were just like, you guys are our last hope. And we're like, hell yeah. And they're like, ah, fuck.
I think when Core got the word, like Core just looked at whoever told him and you're fucked. You get that, right? Like you're like no doubt was just like, well,
I feel like it
shit.
was probably Core's idea is like, all right, we need to get all these people out of here.
You should-
Like these people need
you
to
should
go.
leave.
You need to go to the other containment zones. You gotta get out of here.
Okay. All right. Brutal and grim. I love it. Very good.
Literally grim.
Oh yeah, literally grim. This all makes sense then. This tracks. Okay, well, yeah, so then you are part of this almost like forward fort sort of thing, this abandoned town. You are holding back some of the invading forces that are pressing in from the dusk, which is pretty much what everybody just calls everything that gets beyond the sunlight of the cities is dark and dangerous, warped and twisted, and we call it the dusk. And there's sort of like tiers of how dangerous the dusk is, and there are different sort of factions that live out there. And you all are just there holding off anything that's coming in from the dusk right now towards the town that you moved the folks to. Now, how do you know? I guess here's one other quick question. How do you all know about forces? Like, is somebody still like sending you messages about like missions to go out on, or are you all like walking out into the dusk on your own, like finding?
So
Is there like a spy-ish?
There is so Voyager is your Pathfinder. They go out there and scout things out. They're the experts at figuring out what's going on in the dusk. So do you have
So
maybe
I
a
lied.
relationship
There's
with
4
one?
of us left.
I think, well, here's the thing. I think there are 3 of us left.
Yeah.
I think till recently we had a Voyager who was sort of in charge and was doing things, and it has been a suspicious but not unheard of amount of time since we have last heard from him.
Okay. So yes, your Voyager went out, did like a real like standard of the mill check of the area around. It hasn't been back in a little while. You maybe started to worry a bit about this Voyager spot. Okay, cool.
We ain't worried.
He'll be fine.
Oh, good. We're
He's
all
super
very
dead.
fine. Grim can just sense it or Core can just sense it because as a Grim spark, you just know when there's death around you.
Yeah.
You just know. You can sense these
It's
things.
just a matter of time before like some weird thing comes crawling in and like, oh, there he is.
Sure.
They probably lost their communicator, to be honest.
That's what happened last time.
Exactly. So it's not unheard of.
So whose idea is it to go out and find this Voyager?
Not Grit, not me, not Course.
Not.
It was Warden.
Okay, Warden, do you kind of keep tabs on everybody, keep everybody safe?
Yeah, I'm the group mom.
Yeah. Okay. Group mom, kind of a little worried. One of your kids has gone out there, hasn't returned in a little while. Time to get them back. Sweet. Excellent. All right. Well, let's go figure out what happened to that Voyager.
Okay.
So when we play Nova, when we're outside of combat, it's very free-flowing. You all are just kind of describing what it is you're doing. Anytime we need to resolve something, we'll use those attributes to decide if you are successful in it. It uses a dice pool system, so we keep the highest d6 to see how it goes. And then when we hop into combat, that's when you're going to start pulling out those powers and using them to take out waves of enemies. So, yeah, you're going to head out. Now, the first layer that goes outside of the cities is called the Crimson. called the Crimson because there's still like elements of the sun shards light there, but it's not as bright and safe as actually being within the city itself. And so yeah, you start heading out. Do you have like a beacon or something that you're using to like track the Voyager, or are you just like, they're probably out this direction?
I think we have an idea of where they said they were going, and we're heading that general direction.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So
There's
yeah,
probably like a map that was in our base that was just like, they've been there, they've been there, they've been there. Yes, they're going here.
gotcha. So the Voyager's just trying to get like a sense of all the new turf, and so they would have gone somewhere that had not been explored before.
Right.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, you start heading off in the direction where you believe your Voyager friend has been left off before. Warden, are you the one that usually leads the charge on these sorts of things?
I'd say with this crew I am.
Excellent. So yeah, Warden is up front. Who's kind of like, do you all like walk as a pack? Do you do any sort of like, do you spread out and do different formations, or are you all just like,
I think we're walking as a pack.
Walking out?
I think I'm flying.
Yeah.
Just like doing the kind of like bird's eye view
Okay.
situation, and just like, and, you know, Warden's wants us close, a little, just wants us all close and everything. No.
You're a free spirit. You
I
can't be contained.
can't be contained. I can't be held down.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I'm like following pretty, not super close behind Gordon, but like within like
Like, I'm still within leash lengths, but
Yeah.
you know.
I think I'm probably being that shitty kid. Like, are we there yet? Like,
Okay.
I love the image that I have you both on a leash.
yeah,
Just-
100%.
You just walk. You walk and drag them
Yeah.
along with you. Yeah. Perfect.
No, stop running off. God damn it.
Excellent. So yeah, you all start heading out. You're in the Crimson right now. Now, the Crimson is a zone that is largely held in terms of the enemy factions by what are called like the Haze Dwellers, which are like your local warped beasts that got messed up when the sun exploded, and then the Hellions, which are humans that abandoned the concept of living in the cities and they took to like the cave systems and like the area in the Crimson to forge their own way. They also kind of went nuts out there, and then it's almost like Mad Max Raiders out there. So you've got, that's primarily who you're dealing with out here in the Crimson.
Gotcha.
I put Nova up top just so you can see what you're playing, and then
Sorry, we're this way.
I had just brought the one we were using and the one here, and then ended up pulling a sequence in there.
Awesome. So we got Hellions.
We got Hellions and we got Haze Dwellers,
Okay.
typically what you're used to dealing with out here. So, you know, it's not then surprising as you are walking through this Crimson Zone that you see kind of the light of something off in the distance. Now, you all are sparks. You're familiar with sunlight. It's literally flowing through your sparks right now to power you. This is not sunlight. This is the light of a massive fire off in the distance. It's coming out of like a cave, so you can kind of see it like flickering off of the surface. It kind of goes in and out as if there's maybe things that are obscuring the fire from time to time. But you do see like the entrance of a large cave system off in the distance.
Okay.
And it is in the direction that your Voyager Spark friend was going.
I mean, it's not a good sign.
That's what I said before we left. Didn't I say that?
What?
All right, let's go.
Here's a quick question because this is good to know. Just yelling the what? Do you all talk through like your voices, or do you have like a message?
100%. There's an intercom system.
Right.
Like 100%.
Just projecting out across
Yeah,
the.
like we have like ear sets that like pick each other up.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Because the dusk goes back and forth between being like chillingly silent and that like there's nothing out there, and then like blisteringly loud as storms go passing through the area. So like we're in one of those like chill moments where it's just suddenly you hear what, and it kind of like bounces off everything
Love
for
it.
just a little bit. And yeah, so this cave system is there in front of you. After that what goes off, the light of the fire doesn't go entirely out, but it gets largely obscured.
Okay, well, that's a worse sign.
Is it, or does it just mean there's stuff in there that we can kill?
And we don't have to kill everything we come across, but yeah, that's probably what it means.
They're not really good to me alive, so I do think that means that we should kill everything.
Look, I'm not going to stop you.
Okay. Alright.
So, killing people?
Yeah.
We're going in?
I think so.
All
How
right.
did I end up with these two?
I think I don't understand why Warden's mad about it. I mean, I don't know what they expected.
Just go.
Yeah.
You let go of the leash. Let's go.
So yeah, does somebody take the charge and just start running towards the cave, or what's your general attack pattern formation that you're doing here?
I think usually, like, I don't know how your guys' health situation is.
I'm okay. I'm not great.
I mean, I'm
okay.
not great either, but I do damage. That's my thing.
I feel like whoever I follow, whoever does the most damage to create thralls behind them. So like if you go in and blow them up, I'm like behind you, like bringing them up, in that kind of vibe.
So I think it kind of goes me, Warden, then Core.
Yeah, that works.
So we see this image of Spiral, was it, right?
Yeah.
Spiral just kind of like shooting down from the air towards the entrance of the cave. As you get closer to the cave, you realize that the dusk really kind of fucks with your perception. But it's a much bigger cave entrance than like it was perceived from the distance that you were at. And the reason it is obscured is because a bunch of debris, just like broken down like plate metal and things like that, has been scrapped from various places, like because most of the dusk is ruins, and so now there's just been this big wall of debris that is there. You can kind of see the firelight flickering over it. So there's nobody like there at the entrance of the cave. There's this massive wall of debris, but you can hear inside the like clatter and din of a shit ton of people who are all in the process of like arming them. Like you hear like it's comical, like the shotgun cocking sound again and again and again, like you see in a movie where you're like,
Gotcha.
oh, they're really loading a lot of guns in there.
Great.
I think we'll be fine. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds exciting.
Excellent. How do you get through this wall?
That's a great question.
Now, when we're outside of combat, you can't. I mean, you can use your powers if it feels like a power is appropriate, or these attributes
How
are just.
tall is this wall?
The wall, I mean, so the cave itself is probably like 20 to 30 feet tall itself.
Okay.
So, but the debris does not go all the way to the top. You can see that it's like crudely piled in, like, it gets a little lighter and not as dense at the top. So there's an entrance that you could like crawl over through the top of it if you wanted to.
I think as we approach it, if there's like an entrance, I'm going to kind of like reveal my hands, and there's going to be long clawed like armor, and I'm just going to like kind of start climbing the wall like a weird little bug.
Great.
And like climb up and around and like kind of grappling to the side, try to like get in through the front. But before I enter the cave, I'm gonna look at both of you and be like, "Don't blow me up again."
Love that.
So
I
you're
would
gonna,
just move a little faster then.
Are you gonna blow it up now or later? Because I'll wait.
Just move.
I think this is a great time to see an attribute roll. I want to see I mean, to me it sounds like you're doing something kind of in the moon space, especially with Warden telling you to go a little faster.
Yeah.
So you're kind of nimbly moving up this wall. So
Okay.
Yeah, because Spiral's back to them.
because here they come. Here they come. We got to see if you are kind of in the path of destruction right
Okay.
now. So what is your moon
My
value?
moon is 3.
Excellent. So you're going to take 3d6. You'll roll all 3 and we'll keep the highest.
Okay. Let's hope. I got a 4.
Okay, so 4 is still going to be a success. You pull it off. There is a slight bit of complication. I don't think necessarily the complication is that you are in like the blast radius of what your allies are doing.
Right.
But I think what's going on here is that like you are quickly climbing up and one piece breaks away as you're going up there. And there's now this hole and you're kind of like dangling there for a moment. And you hear, and again, see a bunch of guns cocking themselves all starting to aim towards this hole where you are.
Hi, friends.
And you now have a moment, Spiral and Warden, to do something before it sounds like we might be hopping into some combat. Is there anything you want to do before you're in the combat?
I'd like to use an ability already.
We can hop right into it.
I'd like to use Rush to just go straight through the rubble.
I love it. So yeah, what does Rush do for the Warden?
Yeah, so Rush, I charge forward as an unstoppable force. I choose a near location to rush towards it, dealing harm along my way.
Excellent. Yeah. So the Warden just bull rushes towards the wall, obliterating it. So anytime we use a power, we mark one of our fuel to show that it is gone. And like I said, you'll get that fuel and everything back when you kill enemies. They'll drop things like health and fuel and stuff like that. So you come barreling through, and yeah, you know, Corey.
Watch out!
Yeah, Corey. It doesn't like collapse on you, but you are now like. The support of the wall is rapidly declining beneath you, and there is the hole exposed where you are, but you are now at like the top, so you've managed to get like into position, but the wall will not last much longer. Warden, you've made it to the other side, and probably as predicted, having heard all the guns, you see a shit ton of Hellions in there. These Hellions are these raiders who have sort of taken over the Crimson, and they are surrounding a bonfire, just arming themselves to the teeth with all this sort of weaponry. Spiral, what are you doing right after you see this wall explode in shrapnel?
How'd they get the debris down when we saw the fire? I don't. This is sus. I think I'm just. So my idea was just to drill through the wall.
Beat you through it.
Beat me to it. So I'm just gonna fly through the hole.
All right.
Right behind, and then you'd be like, "Sup, bitches?" And just start just going right in to touch someone.
We're in it. So now that we're in combat, how this works is all the sparks get to go. You all get to take a turn doing whatever it is you want to do. You can move and use one of your powers during your turn. After you have all done something, I'm going to make all the enemies respond, and I'll do something called the GM turn to add a twist to the combat. So you all can take a moment, think about, you can go in whichever order you want, so there's no set initiative, so you might find ways to like ping off of each other with combos and stuff like that. But once you have a sense of what you want to do, right now you all are kind of more or less at the entrance of the cave. You can see about 10 or so Hellions sitting around this bonfire right now. It's a wide variety of them. They all are armed with various weaponry, just from a quick glance, and that's what you would have gathered at this point.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna fly in. Are they like standing like close to each other?
Yeah, they were clearly like in the process of like doing something around this bonfire, and they've now just like stood up and quickly are arming themselves with the weaponry that they had left nearby, like near their feet.
Cool. I'm gonna go up to one of them to get into near range.
Okay.
And just use my brimstone ability, which rock and ash bursts from a tear in the ground. Deal 1 harm to an enemy within near range and all enemies within close range to your target.
Nice.
All damaged enemies can only attack at close range until the end of the round.
Nice.
You summon brimstone from the ground, which slams into one of these enemies, and everybody that's kind of standing around them, they're now covered in ash and soot, and they can't really see. Their ranged weaponry has been rendered virtually useless in this small cluster of them as the brimstone has started to burn and blind them. Excellent. Who wants to go next?
No, I'm like up on the wall, just kind of
Just
watching.
waiting.
Yeah, I'll get in a little closer then. I'll run into close. My passive, the two nearest enemies to me, both stunned for the round.
Love it.
And I'm gonna grab someone who's not stunned. I'm gonna go ahead and use Crush and Throw.
Tell us what Crush and Throw does.
Yeah, so target close enemy is crushed by my grip for 2 harm, and then I throw him, and every enemy near him is going to take a total of 3 harm because of.
So you're gonna throw this thing. Is this because of your pull the pin too, that there will be an explosion going on? Yeah. Why? Tell us a little bit about that, because normally when you crush and throw, you're just throwing somebody, but you have this sort of explosive thing going on. What's going on there?
It's a little grim, but I think the thing is, I'm picking up an enemy, I'm stuffing a grenade in him, and then I'm throwing him.
I love that. Absolutely love that for you. So yeah, you grab one of these enemies, stuff them with a grenade, toss them at another group. Are you tossing it at the group that is blinded right now, or do you want to throw it at some different folks?
Are there different folks to throw them at?
Yeah, there are.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The different folks then?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you throw it at another group that are still in the process of getting themselves armed. They were ready to shoot Core, and then suddenly the 2 of you are here just blinding and blowing them all up. Yeah, so you throw this Hellion, and they explode, and you see a few of them drop to the ground and just die instantly from this horrible explosion.
Hell yeah.
And we'll generate a couple of drops here. after
Yeah.
4 has their chance.
The second that 2 of them like die, you just see a little flare in Core's eyes, and finally, and the 2 of them will immediately pop up as thralls for me.
Yeah, so tell us what the process of your Grim Sparks like enthralling looks like. Because we're essentially talking about a necromancer mech right now. So what does it look like when you make a thrall?
Yeah, I think like I'm on top of this wall, and again, there's like the eyes like activate like a power of sorts, and you just see like around the corpses there's like a little scan light as it just kind of like passes over them, and then that light starts looking like it's the like little robots. What are those called? Like the teeny tiny ones. That,
Nanobots?
Nanobots. Thank you. Like nanobots, kind of like building up around, but like organically, as it just kind of like Mod Podges, not back together the right way, but in a way.
They're together is what's
that it
what
can
matters.
like move around a little bit more, and there's just like green lines that kind of
They're
like
functional.
that feed through them as they like lurch forward. And my suit just now has like in between the different plates of armor, like that green glow that like seems to be sustaining them from a distance.
Sweet. So yes, that automatically kicks in because of your passive. So you made a couple of thralls, so you still get to do something with your turn. What would you like to do with it? You got some puppets on strings.
Yeah, so I want to... Let's see. I've got 2 thralls, but I want to look down and like immediately to someone that's beneath me.
Yeah.
And I want to use my possess power. I want to deal 2 harm to an enemy in near range and give them a single command that they must obey.
Okay, so there's still like 1 or 2 Hellions that haven't been affected by explosions or blindness, so you're going to now compel this one.
I'm gonna tell it like, you look cold, buddy. How about you go warm up? And like with the instruction for them to walk into the bonfire.
I mean, they love fire, so there's truly
name.
like they would have done this anyways if you had just asked nicely. But yeah, there's that little bit of you've compelled them enough. They have the 2 harm that they take initially from just sort of you dominating their mind for a moment, and then they throw themselves in the fire, and they're certainly going to combust from there. So we're going to add another bit of drop to the pool here.
Awesome.
So right now, what we do, you all have had a chance to act. I'm going to have the enemies act, but I also create drops, which are those health and fuel blobs for you. I've rolled. There are 2 fuel up for grabs. Anybody can grab the fuel, whoever wants it. There's also 1 health. I don't think anybody's taken any harm, so the health is just going to like dissipate into the air.
I've used two fuel so far because I got 1 pre-combat, so I would like to take 1.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool.
And you can take the other one if you want. I'm good.
Oh, is there? So, okay. So there's like 2 1 fuel.
2 little 1-use fuels that are kind of like floating in the air for you to hoover up as sparks.
There's a little blue hovering circle, and then another blue one, and then a red one.
But the red one just kind of like shivers
and then
out.
it shivers away.
Oh.
All right, I'll take the.
It does that thing where it shrinks.
Yeah, you watch it go, you're like, I guess I didn't need it.
So just so you know, the ones that have been affected by my brimstone are damned.
Yes, they are.
So they deal +1 harm on the next time they attack the spark, but then they inflict double that harm onto themselves.
Nice.
Yeah. So this crew of like blinded Hellions, they don't drop their weapons even though they need to be like they can only fight at close because you hear the whirring of like chain blades that start to get activated. Some of them have them attached to the ends of their guns. These guns are clearly like heavily modded. They're not like standard weaponry by any means. They've clearly kitted these out to be mostly about inducing pain. So you hear these chain blades sort of get activated.
They make this sound.
God damn it.
It's almost exact.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's
I'm really,
a chainsaw sound.
I'm so immersed right now.
Oh man,
I'm so in the scene now.
chainsaws has definitely been changed.
Oh yeah,
These are future chainsaws.
Yeah.
The sun exploded, chainsaw has just changed in a big way.
That was one of the first things that changed, actually. It was one of our priorities. So, yeah, you see 2 of these individuals that have come, like, rushing through. They're just tear-streaked faces as they're blinded by this brimstone. One comes up to Infernal and slashes you down with this chain blade, and the other goes up to Warden and slashes down with these chain blades. Now they only normally do 1 harm, but they're going to do +1 harm, so they're going to do 2 harm to you right now, so 2 goes away from your health. But they also then take 2 harm.
They take 4.
Or 4 harm. They're going to die, so can you tell us a little bit about what dying from damnation looks like, Spiral?
It's kind of like if someone was burned from the inside. Hercules Mulligan.
Yeah. So,
It just like almost just like starting from the throat
Oh, I
and
like
just
that.
like coming up and also going down.
terrifying. Terrifying.
Yeah.
It's really horrifying.
it.
This
I
is
think
a
it's
terrible
great.
group.
I
Yeah.
think it's wonderful.
This is why we were left in the fort.
Yeah.
Are we the bad guy?
Wait a minute. So yes, you see these 2 die pretty horrible deaths from the damnation. And then one of them smarts up and doesn't go charging through the brimstone. They run to the back side of the cave for a moment, and they like slap this button. You hear this like siren song that goes off, and then you start to hear a slow but steady drum beat going off from down the cavern. And it starts off slow, but it just goes boom, 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 and it just starts picking up. Now, most of the Hellions that are left in this room, there's like 1 dude left who's still alive, the one that pushed the button. But you do hear this siren and this drumming going off. Who wants to kill this last Hellion?
I feel like I just watched my buddies get hurt pretty bad. I didn't like that. So I'm going to look at one of my thralls and just say, "Go get him, sport!" And I want to use pull the strings to lash out. So my thrall can target that enemy and deal its harm, which should be, let's see, I think it's just 1. Yeah.
Just 1 harm right now. So yeah, this thrall goes rushing forward. I mean, what does it look like when a Hellion attacks another Hellion?
I mean, in this one, like, what my thrall was a guy that got blown up.
A hellion.
Yeah, so I think that they're put back together in a really discouraging way.
Yeah.
And so, as it just kind of
Discouraging?
yeah, it's not good. As it just kind of like wobbles towards this person who like has pressed the button and feels pretty good about it and turns around. You just watch as like all the different parts of the body just start like tearing at this other person. But like again, its arms aren't where arms should be. Like
Yeah, there's a leg coming out of the knee.
yeah, and it's like
Or an arm coming out of the knee. That's what I
yeah.
meant.
Like have you seen it when like they try to tell an AI to like make a thing walk and how they just kind of like trip
It's just
around?
raw.
Yeah,
just
it's like
It's
that.
raw. Okay.
It's that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's terrible. We
Yeah,
all
it's
watched
not
this
great.
terrible thing happen. This person, this poor Hellion, didn't really get to see it happen because they were still blinded from the brimstone earlier. So they push this button, they're kind of satisfied. They turn around laughing like, you have no idea what's coming. They also have no idea what's coming
Yeah.
as they get literally torn to pieces by your thrall here.
And then you get to make a new thrall out of this terrible guy too?
No, I can only have 2 right now.
Okay,
Or I
okay.
would.
Yes. There is 1 health that is produced from the enemies that have died since the
I
last
would
set
like
died.
that.
Yeah, take it.
I just go up by 1.
Yes, so you just increase your health by 1. Now you've wiped this room out. You have 2 puppets still standing by you, but otherwise everybody is either like incinerated from the inside or exploded from the outside or torn apart. It's been pretty gnarly so far, but that drum beat has not stopped at all. The siren has stopped, but now you just hear echoing off the walls a very steady drum beat deeper in the caves.
Okay, look, if we go their way, they'll never see it coming. Because they're coming our way. They think they're going to get the drop on us. We could get the... Okay, let's just go down the hallway.
Yeah, Core's gonna like drop off the wall and like walk into the camp and go, I mean, I think I want to walk over to one of my little thralls really quick, and I don't expect this to work.
Sure.
But I want to walk over to the thrall and like look at it. Do you know what button do? Do you know what button do?
You know this never works.
There's like a sense that the thrall understands the basic like premise of the question.
Yeah.
But because it's put together so wrong, it has no means of actually like describing to you what's going
Gotcha.
on. Like it is
You put the
trying
tongue on
its
wrong.
hardest. Yeah. It like is emphatically trying
You
to
need-
answer you, but it just really is struggling.
You need to work on your tongue placements. You never put it right back in the mouth.
I'm an artist, and this is just, they're designed the way that they are, and I'm just want to clench my fist.
Yeah.
And I want to use siphon
Okay.
on both of them
Okay.
to create fuel to refill my fuel.
Excellent. Yeah. So you just snuff out your 2 thralls.
Oh God, I hate when you do that. Ugh, disgusting. Stop eating. Oh Jesus.
They just like melt, like a weird little acid pool. They just like
Oh.
into themselves.
Ugh.
You're
And I like
very
walk
unsettling
through,
to be
and
around.
like the armor that's all like dirty and gross. You now realize why is I just kind of like kick through the remains to like find the little fuel cell for myself and like stick it into my shoulder.
Nice.
What?
Very cool. Not weird at all.
It's
No,
Love
this
it.
is fine. This is fine. Let's just go.
The 3 of you have been so alone at this fort for so long that it's just like, yeah, I guess this is just what we are now.
I don't think Core ever really cared was the thing, and I think that's why I was kind of like an outsider.
It's more of Warden got stuck with us
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
we got stuck with Warden.
Yeah.
You are definitely 2 of the kind of the weirdo sparks out there. You're part of the
100%.
second wave. Warden is one of the first wave sparks, which were like the standard ones, the ones that we need, like a big protective tank. And then they're like, but what if we made one out of the devil and necromancy? And that's when things kind of went a little
Yeah,
weird.
they like.
I am the devil, and I'm just not listening. No,
From the
no, no.
Bible.
From the Bible.
So you all want to go, as Warden sort of proposed, towards the drums.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I mean, so yeah, you start to make your way down into the cave system, and the cave walls start to change from like a really smooth stone to metal as you realize you've entered into some sort of underground facility of some kind. But that facility, it goes from like smooth stone to metal to like, there's growth down here. Now, let me ask you a question. How often do you all see like wildlife growth? Because it's possible in the dusk for like plants to grow. They're just usually a little fucked up. But like, is there a lot of growth around you? Is this novel, or are you like, oh yeah, here's some weird bushes and
It's
trees?
probably like just like some little greenhouse situation. Not like, is it like super florist, like forest or something?
No, not quite. But there's like enough of it where you're like, this is green, like truly green sort of stuff. Which maybe most of the time you see like fucked up wood.
Yeah, no, I don't think that Core's seen a lot of it. I think between Warden and our missing Voyager, I think Core was more like stay back behind, again, like follow in and kind of do the cleanup with the thralls, so to speak. And so I don't think that Core's really seen all that much like life.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Most of the time it's like a lot of death and like. So I think I look at it as we're kind of going through, and what is that?
Kindle.
Oh God, this is a tree.
Kindling.
I'm getting mixed messages.
Kindling.
Okay,
Things that could be easily set on fire.
so it dies then.
Yes.
Okay, all right, I'm good.
Warden. Oh,
To answer the question from earlier, I never get to see green.
so this is a lovely moment that is being truly destroyed.
Yeah, I get to see it shortly before Infernal catches it on fire, right?
Right. I love that.
Very good.
So I mean, who's the first one to kind of like who's leading the charge again into this?
I guess it was Warden's idea to go in.
Yeah, I'll
so-
lead.
Okay. So yeah, you're going through this tunnel system. It changes from smooth stone to metal plate to now metal plate with like trees and vines almost like woven through it in a sort of bleed between organic and artificial. And as
It's gonna be
you
a bad time for them.
you are definitely moving towards the sound of this drum. It's getting louder. It's also getting faster. The closer you get to it, you notice that it is getting faster. So now it is almost like an incredibly steady beat. They're eerily matching like your foot pattern at first. Like every time you take a step, they are drumming it as if they just know how quickly you're pacing. And as you change your pace, the drum changes the pace, and then it just starts going and going. It's the PAX announcement.
Yeah, everyone, we're at PAX still.
If you didn't know, it's very great.
So, Warden, you're the first one through. Now, you enter into what is clearly a large room, although it is silent. It's definitely loud where the drum is, but, or not silent, dark is what I meant to say. You know, lights, silence. Should I wait?
We might as well just wait for a second. I don't know how much of it's getting picked up, but
Wear your masks, folks.
Yeah, please wear your masks.
Nailed it. Like I said,
that was the wrong one. I was trying to hit this one. I was like, these are my footsteps, right?
Disgusting.
that's what it sounds like as you
I was
walk
like,
in.
oh, one sec, they're matching my pace.
Just really start to mess with it. Sounds great. The drums, it's amazing that they're able to keep up with it.
Yeah.
You enter this large room, totally pitch black, deafeningly loud as the drum beats echo off the walls. And then you hear a snapping sound, and you get hit in the chest with a little probe, and it slams into your chest, and then you see electricity go coursing across your body as you start to, like, it's not hurting you, but you see, like, in the HUD of your system, like a lockdown is taking place. Like somehow this probe of some kind is locking your suit up, and you can see that access to your various systems is getting like shut out for you right now. And in that moment of the electricity going off, all the lights in this underground facility turn on. So this place is fully powered up, and you see tons of Hellions that are lining a 2-floor, like you're up on the 2nd floor, that's how you approach, and there's a downstairs. They're all filled with this place, ready to just light you up.
Cool.
Well, I'm not doing shit, I guess.
Yeah, so our warden is locked up. I'd say we're probably in another round of combat here as we're about to jump into
Oh,
things.
is just Warden locked, or is all of
Just
them?
warden. So they were ready for the first person to come through, but they're just gonna shoot whoever comes after that.
Okay.
This is probably how Voyager got caught.
You say through like a staticky messages, like your
Yeah.
messaging
You could just
system.
hear it through my speakers, like mouth me.
My concern, again, like most of the stuff I can do is because others bravely go before me.
Have murdered people.
I think what
on
Sarah's
your
trying to say
behalf.
is fuck it up.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna go into the middle of.
Do you want to like dive down onto the main floor, sort of thing?
Or just like I just see Warden just freeze up, and then I'm gonna use you as a footstool
Yeah.
and just
What I'd
dive.
expect.
It just like dive and like just do like some Tony Hawk tricks all the way
Obviously.
down. Get my skate up.
Right.
And then just go right into the middle of Hellions.
You're just surrounded by them. They're all armed to the teeth with these like sharp bladed guns ready to unleash. Now they weren't ready for you to jump right into the middle of them, so you do have that moment.
Yeah.
What would you like to do?
I'm just like, that's cute. And then I'm gonna touch one of them and use my Hellfire, which I tagged with Efficient. So I ignite an enemy's souls with a touch, deal 3 harm to an enemy within close range. If they die from Hellfire, they explode and deal 1 harm to all enemies within close range to them.
I mean, these are just Hellion mobs, so you better believe it's going to explode in soul fire as you just reach out. Now, where do you grab them? Is it like, do you grab them on the face? Is it
This one,
a touch?
this
Boop
one,
them on the nose?
I just like dive in and just like land and just like right
Just
on the.
hey.
Hey there,
Nice.
hey there, neighbor.
So question:
Yes.
do the ones that get harmed from the explosion get
Yeah.
affected by damnation?
Yes, they do.
Ha ha ha. So
So-
many people are down.
Yes. So you see this one explode in Hellfire. The Hellfire goes like coursing over your spark, and your systems just love it. You bathe in the soul fire. All the other Hellions surrounding this person get like burned by it, and then they have that damnation mark on them that lets us know that they are
There's
ready
just
to
a little,
go.
every single time I use Hellfire, there's just a little speaker that goes throughout the comms. It's like, Hellfire!
It's almost delightful.
It's always spicy.
It's a spicy, spicy power.
It's a
Oh,
spicy
man.
meatball.
Excellent.
Spicy.
So yeah, you all see this like explosion of fire down in the middle on the first floor. There's still
Yeah.
like a ring of some Hellions up on the 2nd floor. Warden's locked up. Core, you have. Warden, you can still act. You can still do.
Okay.
things.
Yeah, I was gonna I'm gonna walk up and look at what is on Warden.
Yeah.
And I don't want it to be on there. Can I, like, I've established I've got my weird little claw hands. Can I try and, like, get it and wrench it off?
Yeah, how do you, what's your sort of approach here? Is it just like, I'm just going to tear this off? Am I going to, like, try and understand how this thing works and, like, find a weak point on it? What are you generally, like, how are you approaching this?
I think I, like, trusting that Infernal's, like, got this. So,
Yeah.
like, there's the light sound of explosions as I come around and look at Warden do, like, the up-down, and look at the device, and then I'm just gonna, like, fling out my spiky little fingers and go, this might sting a bit, and I'm gonna, like, just take from both sides and clamp on and try to dig them under and just pull it off. Because I know that Warden can take a hit.
So it's like pulling off a Band-Aid, right? Like,
Yeah.
you just know, like, I'm gonna get this over quick. It's gonna hurt like hell, but we're gonna just
We
get it,
don't
take
have
it
time
off.
to be brains about this.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Warden, when's the last time that you saw a tree?
Let's just get this off me.
Just right in the middle of their talking.
right. So let's have that attribute roll. So sometimes we bring these rolls into combat if it helps us understand how you do things. To me, again, it sounds like you're doing something moon-like if you're doing
Yeah.
that like Band-Aid pull. So
Yeah.
you're gonna make a moon roll on this to see how it goes.
I got 2 6s.
You better believe you pull it right off.
Hell yeah.
You can see that, like, as you were pulling it off, like, there were these probes that were coming out, like, these little claws that were coming out that were gonna, like, a secondary system to, like, attach further. But because you went so quick, you pulled it right off before they could engage, and it just goes to the ground and smashes it. And,
Sick.
Warden, you can see all of your systems starting to immediately boot back up.
Okay, cool. Well, I think in that case, I'm gonna grab Core and get over to where Infernal is. Get over to where Spiral is. And I'm gonna use my Bulwarks. I'm just gonna pull out a shield. The three of us will all take 1 less harm from enemies this turn.
Excellent. So
Nice.
you grab Core, jump
All
down.
right, let's go.
Slam down. You throw up this massive shield that sort of surrounds the lot of you.
You got baby Bjorn.
Yeah, and if you killed anybody, 2 new thralls will pop out.
Oh, I killed one.
Okay, so
person.
yeah, when I get over there, one will just, again, that light will kick in.
Excellent. So
Oh,
yeah.
you did it wrong again.
Oh, you fucked him up
How
again.
did you put his foot as an ear?
I kind of like it.
I told you Picasso wasn't. All right. We really got you to get you with some realist classes.
So you hop down there. You now have a thrall. You've got a shield kind of wrapped up around you. The one person that did die didn't produce a drop, so there was no fuel or health produced in this moment.
They suck.
Now, they do just start raining down bullets on you, but also fire. So, like, the bullets, because you're taking 1 less harm, they're just ping, 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 ping right off the...
Are the ones that are like right by us that got affected by the explosion?
Yeah.
They do deal one harm. To
Yeah,
us.
so those ones are going to chain blade you. They're not going to try and shoot you because they're right next to you. So first the bullets come screaming down from above, and they just go bounce uselessly off the shield. Then you hear a thump, and this like napalm bomb goes falling down, and it slams on the top of the shield, and it spreads out across the lot of you. And normally that does 2 harm to everybody in the area, but it looks like it's going to get reduced by 1. So yeah, Warden, you kind of like get that shield up in a last-minute effort and like sway away the napalm so maybe it doesn't explode as terrifyingly above you. And then yeah, these 2 chain blade or these 3 chain blade individuals, they come slashing and they're up already right next to you. They're each going to do 2 harm. They're going to go for Infernal first. So they're going to do 2 harm to Infernal.
That's bad.
They do 2 harm to Infernal, and then they go for Warden, seeing Warden as the shield holder. So that's going to be 4 harm to you, Warden. On
I
that.
go down.
Excellent.
Oh, I also go down.
I love it.
And
You were stabbed first.
But they also just die.
Yes. So the ones that attack all immediately burn up from damnation, from the horrible pain of just existing in the presence of Infernal.
Yeah,
How dare.
I
And-
feel that.
Then you both, you die. But really what you're going to do is Supernova. So to Supernova, you spend 1 of your fuel to have your backup systems kick into place. You will respawn at half health, but you also get your very cool Supernova effect that goes off first. Spiral, you were the first to drop, so do you want to go first here with your effect?
So my supernova is called Final Judgment. all enemies within close range are dragged down to hell and killed. So basically, what it kind of looks like is kind of like, you know how like there's sometimes they do like explosions but backwards.
Yeah, the implosion stuff. Yeah.
So it's just like, just whoever isn't within close range, they feel like they get dragged in, and they're like, whoa, and it just like they just like go down and then rises up as infernal. Its spiral is just like,
Terrifying.
Yeah, and we see Warden. Earth starts to shake around us, and just some fissures, like running up a wall. Because it sounds like everyone in close range of us is in hell now.
They just got dragged to hell.
But I don't have to target enemies within close range, so just 2 of the enemies that are up on like a higher level.
Yeah, you see the one that had like the fire launcher that had lobbed the napalm at you.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna stun him, and I'll stun. I don't know someone else.
Just
Looks
some
tough.
other goon.
Yeah.
So they get stunned up there. Yeah. So there's the vibrations, and I think because you're going through these vibrations, this old facility, like one of these like rafters breaks, and you just see like 3 of these hellions fall to the ground. As the facility now is kind of in a shaky position. Like it's already old and dilapidated from being a ruin. It's now starting to be taken over by nature, and now it's being earthquaked from the inside. So you can see that the place is starting to fall apart. Now, of all those deaths, of all those hellions that have dropped so far, 2 fuel and 2 health get produced. So whoever wants to grab those.
I'll take 1 health if it's cool.
I'll take both fuel.
Okay. Excellent. So you all just use your spark hoovers to vacuum up that delicious health and fuel. The enemies have attacked. You hear that drumming has stopped now, and what you do hear is like it sounds like that booting up sound, like whoop, and something gets booted up. And to you all, it's familiar. It's the sound of what Voyager sounds like when they start marking targets. So the sound of Voyager's marking system like kind of echoes through, and like you can see it all in your HUD, like target marked, target marked, target marked, as you all see this message that a target has been marked.
Do we see the targets that have been marked?
Yes, as you look around, you see it is each other.
That's what I was
Dang
afraid
it.
of. Cool. So let me explain that thing that was in my chest. It looks like it was trying to take over my system. I have a feeling this isn't actually Voyager anymore.
The napalm guy that you took out, you just look as there's like a green flash of light as like another thrall is made up on the top level. And Core is just gonna like look down and be like, oh, you're back. Okay, neat. And it's gonna flash their hands out. And I want to try and like find Voyager. Like
Find Voyager?
Yeah, like if I'm like keen with death or whatever, I'm trying to like sense
like the presence of like the pilot, the
Yeah, if
Voyager's
I
pilot.
can.
Yeah, sure. I think if you make like a shade roll, that might be the sort of like you kind of like you're quickly checking the systems, but you're having to like kind of focus through with your connection with death to see.
that might not be our.
a 6 and a 5.
Yeah. So
Why are they rolling well?
yeah, that's incredible.
I'm about it.
What you notice is Voyager is dead. You sense that the pilot of Voyager is dead and not in this room. They're deeper in this facility.
Okay. You'll hear just like a quiet like shit. And Core is going to turn towards like wherever it like is in the facility that like I sense the thing.
Yeah.
And just point and say, they're that way.
Yeah, there's a kind of a big industrial like double door that is open at the back of this hall, and it's dark, but you still have like 8 or so hellions here on this main level that are surrounding you, and just a handful that are still up in the rafters that will. I mean, you could just keep running if you wanted, but they will try and stop you.
Yeah. I feel like that's my thing that I do is I've located Voyager.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you found Voyager. You have a sense of where they are at. What do our friends Warden and Spiral want to do?
I want more mods.
Yeah, right? You gotta keep playing. You gotta get those mods, get that build going.
So you said it felt like he was dead in a suit? Or he was dead and not in a suit?
Super dead, not in a suit.
Yes.
Okay, look, we can keep fighting these guys. I'm willing to do it if you want to, but we could just take the building down. Because it doesn't seem to be doing well.
It is not, and that's a very quick and fair assessment by Warden, is that, like, already the grounds were shaky. Hellions are not known for taking care of their bases very well,
Yeah.
and now it has been earthquaked from the death of the temporary death of a spark.
Yeah. And with that note, I do want to, like, grab just whoever's nearest, throw him at a pillar.
Oh, okay, excellent. Yeah.
I'll use crush and throw again. I still have pull the pin.
Excellent. So you pull the pin, you stuff this Hellion full of grenade, throw them at one of the pillars, they explode, they certainly die, and then, yeah, you hear this horrible wrenching sound. As another one of these upper rafters comes crashing down. Another, like, the one that had been stunned up there from earlier comes falling down, their body unable to save them. And yes, now you can start to feel that this place is rumbling and shaking. You hear the sound of, like, metal creaking and bending. This base is not long for this dusty earth. What do you want to do in this time that you have left?
Hey, we could do more of that.
Infernal?
Cool.
Or Spiral?
I'm gonna drill
Okay.
underground and just pop up by whoever's by the pillar.
Okay.
Just kind of like come underneath and just grab them by the chin. And just be like, "Hi!" just grab them and place them onto the pillar and use my Hellfire again.
I love that. So yeah, this person gets injected with the soul fire. The soul fire explodes their body, and it's like white hot. It just starts to instantly melt the metal of this pillar as it starts to just evaporate in front of you in hellfire and soul fire.
Whoever's around just gets one damage.
Yeah, a couple of those goons who are still
And
around,
they're
who
all
are, like,
damned.
really not happy to be here anymore, are now also damaged and damned.
While that's happening and there's like the shriek of metal, I'm gonna start moving back to like where we came, because there's like the entrance. It's like us 2 stores up, and like as I get to the bottom of the wall to get us where we need, I'm gonna clap twice. And the 2 thralls behind me, the one up top and the one on the bottom, are gonna start shrieking as I use haunt. So all thralls shriek into the air. Any enemies within close range to them recoil in fear and cannot act during the GM's turn. As they just start
Well, damn.
screaming
Oh, that's
around.
my ability.
And then Core is just gonna start again like that spider climb with their fingers like up the wall to try and get to the exit, as like everything's shaking and shuddering. And you'll just hear over the comms like them kind of humming to the different screams, like
Yeah.
like
Very good and cool and normal. Love that.
yep,
I'm
yep.
working with the most normal sparks I've ever met. I'm fine that all my friends died.
So what few Hellions are remaining in this room are now just completely, like, they're incapable of even thinking about acting right now, as they watch their wrongly put together buddies are just shrieking out in pain. We see Core starting to take the exit. The 2 of you have busted up these pillars. We hear this little whistling sound, and from the big doorway, 3 tiny little missiles come flying through. They slam into each of you. They land for a second, they beep, and then they explode. They're going to do 2 harm to each of you. Now, you all recognize these immediately as Voyager's missile pod system. So somebody is clearly using their suit and using the marks that they hit you with, have now hit you with the missiles. Now, you also notice that your marks have been spent. So whoever was painting you before hasn't painted you. But you have been hit by a missile pod, and this place is rapidly falling apart right now. So,
All right, let's get out of here.
We have to reclaim that.
If he's in the building when it collapses, I think it'll take care of
Well,
itself.
we can't. We have to get that armor.
Oh, I love this part. You hear this? Yeah, you can feel their teeth rattling out. That's such a good pitch. Keeps climbing
This
up
is the
the wall.
high note. You're just hitting the high
Yeah.
note right now.
Okay. What I'm gonna do is just full beeline fly
Yeah.
to the Voyager, and I'm gonna drill my way out of here.
You're gonna drill from the other side by trying to get the Voyager
Yeah,
spark?
I'm just gonna get the Voyager spark, and I'm just gonna we're gonna drill through the dirt on the other side or whatever, because we need.
You want that to reclaim
we
the
gotta
suit.
reclaim the suit.
Okay. Warden, are you piecing out the exit that Core is going through right now?
Yeah, I'll go with Core.
Okay. So yeah, the two of you get to the top. You like get through the entryway that you had seen, and then immediately you turn around and you see this place just collapse in front of you. On the other side of that collapse of the ceiling, we see Spiral dashing into the darkness of the double doorway where Voyager is present. I'm gonna need to see a great sun roll to see if you can like
It's fine. I have 5.
body this person
Let's
and
go.
drill through the earth before the underground facility collapses down on top of you.
Oh,
Get
good
that
dice
good dice
ASMR.
sound. Yeah.
So nice, very good.
We got a 4.
Oh
It's a mixed success.
That's the highest. I rolled 2 1s, a 2, and a 3.
no! Good night.
So
They're back to rolling like they
They're
used to.
bad. They're bad dice now.
you have grabbed the person.
Because I didn't grab these.
And what you do is you go running into the room, you see Voyager, you grab them, and you go right through them. Because Voyager creates hollow sparks, hologram versions of themselves. And so you go grabbing through this Voyager hologram, which does take you like barreling into the Voyager behind them that had set the hologram, but they also manage to like slam 2 missile pods into you as you go darting up through the...
Well, it's gotta be a bad time
the
for
rock.
both of us, yeah.
So you explode in missile pods of 4 damage as you like burst your way through the rock.
Guess
and
what? I have a supernova again.
so yeah, what is it? I mean, you are trying to reclaim this armor. So what does
So
it
is
look
there
like?
no one inside of it?
There is somebody
Oh.
inside there. It's a Hellion that has found a way to pilot the spark.
So, I think what happens is that, so like, I've grabbed the spark, we're drilling through, they jam the missile in me, and like, I explode, and just like the fire is just like lighting up my spark's face, and it's just like, and then just explodes. And I want to say it's bringing the soul down more than it is bringing like physical body.
We cleanly burned the body out of the
Oh,
inside of the.
Gotcha.
Like if we open up that spark is gonna have like a burnt up
Just ash
husk
in there.
But it's just while it goes, it's like, you fucked up because you don't know who I am.
Yeah, you emerge up above. You all see your friend come barreling out of the ground. Core, you immediately sense that whoever was in there is dead,
Yeah,
and
I
also
just-
like not thrallable. They're ash.
Yeah. I just kind of like tap Warden and go, he got him.
All right, so we should keep heading out. The building's collapsing.
Yeah.
So you all make it back up to the surface and regroup. You've gathered the Voyager spark, the actual mech itself. Your companion is still below the rubble. They're dead, though, as Core has told you. So you now are aware of what happened to them. You're aware of the mission that they're on. The one thing that you notice as you like take the spark and start heading back to the city to like figure out what you're gonna do with it is, Warden, you start to get like a little bit of a ping, like a message in your HUD as you make it back to the city that you all are based out of. And there's this kind of like little script that's running in the upper right corner of your HUD. And it's not in any language that you're familiar with. And as you start to look at the script, the longer you look at it, there's this flash of familiarity as you realize that it is the script of the Corvus Dominion, the avian aliens that have sort of invaded this planet. And they've planted something in you, and we'll have to find out in a future episode what that is.
Is this Sarah? I just saw that look on your face. This is Sarah realizing it's the same enemy in Extremis as it
Yes,
is in...
it is!
I just lost my mind.
The In Extremis enemies are in fact named after the Nova ones, not vice versa.
No, I
It's
know.
the and there's a
I'm
timeline
aware.
where it all connects.
I just really liked it.
So yeah, you all make it back. You survived your mission. Your buddy unfortunately did not.
Yeah.
And you got something going on inside you right now, Warden. But you'll figure that
It's
out.
a mission for another day.
Yeah,
Right.
Core's pretty sad though. We get back and they kind of like make their way to their weird little den, and like you just hear like somehow an old boombox was rescued when the sun exploded, and there's
Obviously.
only like one tape. And it's Annie Lennox, and it's Walking on Broken Glass, and you just hear it like playing out of Core's little den, and that's that.
Amazing. So yeah, that is a session of Nova. What would normally take place is you'd all pick a new mod to add to your Spark, and you'd start to figure out how you want to build out over
I
time.
was looking at 2 of them, which I will share 2 of them. There was one that was Toll, which damned enemies are affected by Final Judgment at any range.
Nice.
And then there was another one that was just white hot explosion harm for Hellfire equals your sun, and that would have been 5.
Holy
instead of
shit!
3.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, like I said, you all are like level 20, and now it's trying to figure out what that level 20 build looks like. That's sort of how I think about
That's
Nova.
so cool.
So,
I
yeah.
love it.
This was so much fun. Thanks for
Yes,
playing.
Thank you so much
Spencer.
for having
Thank you,
me.
AJ. Just really quick as we wrap up, just really one more time where people can find the both of you. Spencer, do you want to lead us off?
Sure. So again, I'm Spencer Campbell, Gila RPGs. You can find me online at gilarpgs.com or on Twitter at Gila RPGs. That's GILA RPGs. That's also my itch page, and yeah, those are the best ways to find me.
Awesome. And AJ.
Yeah, once again, I'm AJ, also known as Husha Kid. You can find me on the 3 T's of social media as on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok as Husha_Kid, voice actor, video editor, TTRPG performer. Hire me.
Do it.
Please.
Perfect. This was so much fun. Thanks, everyone.
Yes, thanks
Thank
everybody.
you.
Enjoy your pizza. Woo!